to think I was just being kind, thoughtful, easy to be around, just being a good person. But the truth, people pleasing made me lie way more than I like to admit. I smiled through things I hated, agreed with things I didn't believe, showed up for people who wouldn't even show up for themselves. All because I didn't want to rock the boat or be seen as difficult or, and let's be honest, get rejected. So yeah, turns out I wasn't being nice. I was being a liar. Let me explain. There was a moment years ago I caught myself smiling through a conversation I didn't believe in. And there I was nodding like a bobblehead thinking, just smile, don't make it weird. And it wasn't until later that it hit me. I wasn't being kind. I was being fake. Because I didn't want to seem difficult or selfish. I was being dishonest to them and to myself. All for the sake of being liked. And this wasn't the first time. I can recall countless times I said yes to yet another thing I didn't want to, cleared my calendar and rearranged my needs for somebody else's issues, or even something as seemingly innocent as laughed at a joke that wasn't even funny, just so no one felt awkward. And this occurred again and again and again, like a bad record on repeat. But those moments, those times of fakeness, it wasn't kindness. It was self-abandonment, a performance dressed up as generosity. But there's an ugly truth about being nice. It looks sweet on the surface, but it's built on fear, control, and pretense. You're not being honest. You're being agreeable. And every time you say yes when you mean no, you're quietly voting against your own integrity. You see, people pleasing says, I'll shapeshift if it keeps the peace. I'll sacrifice if it keeps me liked. I'll lie if it helps me feel safe. It feels noble, doesn't it? But it costs you the real you. So nope, people pleasing isn't the virtue we've been told. It's an emotional self-betrayal dressed up as being nice. Now, if you've done this, you're not a bad person. And because you've done this, I would venture to say you were just like me, trying to be good. As a matter of fact, drop me in the comments if you felt this way before. I know I can't be the only one. And I've been down the rabbit hole trying to understand this behavior. Among a lot of things, it really boils down to this. We were taught that our worth, especially as women, lives in what we can do for others. That saying no is rude and that having needs is too much. But real peace, real living, doesn't come from lying. It comes from learning to tell the truth, even if it feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and scary. Because you can't build trust with others or yourself on a foundation of pretending. So let's stop calling it kindness when it's really fear in a fabulous outfit, and instead, try this. Here's a tiny but mighty experiment that helped me stop betraying myself, and I continue to use this if I catch myself in the act. The next time you find yourself shrinking, smiling through discomfort, or staying silent when you actually have something to say, pause. Ask yourself, am I being real right now or just agreeable? That's it. Just notice, because awareness is the first step to change. Then, if you're feeling brave, choose one moment to do something different. Like, actually, I don't agree with that. Or, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I need to think about it. Or whatever feels right in the moment that doesn't betray your real thoughts and feelings. Your truth doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. It just has to be yours. People pleasing might keep you liked, but it would never help you feel seen. And if you're really ready to feel seen, truly seen, you're going to have to tell the truth, even when it's awkward, even when it's scary, even when it shakes the identity you've built around being the nice one. If this hit home, you're not alone. I created the Escapers Lab for women exactly like us, recovering good girls, the ones learning to stop shrinking, lying, or bending just to fit other people's lives. Inside the lab, we experiment with bold honesty, self-trust, and living intentionally. I'd love for you to join and come hang out with me so we can test and experiment this together. Now, my fellow escaper, go be your own kind of different. Ta-da!